Hey yo, so we're back and we're about to do lab 5, and so I'll just hit start lab before we start talking. So then in this lab we're going to build a DB server and interact with a DB or database using an app. Okay, so Amazon Relational Database makes it easy to set up and operate and scale relational database in the cloud. It provides cost-efficient and resizable capacity while managing time-consuming database administration tasks, which allow you to focus on your applications and business. Amazon RDS provides you with 6 familiar database engines to choose from: Amazon Aurora, Oracle, SQL, Postgre, SQL, MySQL, and MariaDB. Right, at the end of this lab, you will be able to launch an Amazon RDS database instance with high availability. You will configure the database instance to permit connections from your web server. You will open a web server application. You open a web application and interact with your database. We have 1 hour and 30 minutes, but the lab is supposed to take about 30 minutes. So we'll try not to make any mistakes so that we can finish in time. In this lab, we'll be restricted, blah, blah. So this is the scenario. This is what we're going to be provided with. When you start a lab, the following infrastructure is provided. So we have 2 availability zones. We have public subnets and private subnets in both availability zones. We have a security group in the that uh, has its own rules basically to either allow traffic or not. We have a NAT gateway that's allowing to connect to the internet. Um, we're doing everything within the AWS cloud. The region is going to be, I'm guessing, North State, Virginia, something, I don't know, East US 1. And yeah, NAT gateway connects to the internet, blah, blah. And this is what we're going to have by the time we're done. We're going to have the same thing, except this time we will have an RDS database that follows the security group, I'm guessing, or I can't really explain it. I'm sure we will be able to explain it in here. Yeah, the database. Okay, okay. So the database instance to permit connections from our web server. Okay, to permit. So this will decide or permit whatever. I might be wrong, but we are going to build it anyway. So yeah. All right. Let's just wait for it to turn green. Create a security group for the RDS database instance. Interesting. Right into it. So we'll just go straight to the VPC. So luckily this one, there's not going to be any code. Is there? I don't see any code. I don't see any code. Okay, so it's turned green, and so we can just click and start. Just give them even spaces. No. Alright. So we're gonna start. Okay, so first we're going to go into services, or we're going to go this way and then we'll search VPC. And we will click VPC. In the left navigation pane, we're going to choose security group. So just scroll down, not too far away. We scroll too much. Come to security groups, and then we would give the security group. Just hold on, refresh this. Choose security group, then configure. So we're going to we'll choose create security group. Okay. Hold on. So we'll just create a security group. All right. The security group name should be this. There's no coding here, so I think I can drag and drop. Description. the VPC, we have to choose lab VPC. So you can see there are 3 different ones. Just choose lab VPC. And then we have to add an inbound rule. There are no rules here, so we have to add our own rule. And for the rule, we will choose MySQL Aurora, right? Yep, MySQL.Aurora. And then the source, place the cursor to the right of the source, and then we'll type SG. And when we type SG, we'll select Web Security Group. Pretty cool. Then we'll just go down and create security groups. You will use the security group when launching an Amazon RDS database in the lab. Okay. So task 2. In this task, you will create a DB subnet group that is used to tell RDS which subnets can be used for the database. Each database subnet group requires subnets in at least 2 availability zones. In the AWS console services, let's select RDS. Alright, in the left side, we're going to choose subnet groups. Where are you? Subnet groups, yep. If the navigation pane is not visible, choose the menu on the top left corner, this one. Okay, yeah, okay. Alright, so we're going to create subnets, then we're going to name it DB subnet group. Then the description, we're going to do DB subnet group. Then we're going to choose lab VPC. Perfect. We're zooming through this one. Then we're going to scroll down to the add subnet section. And then we're going to expand the list of availability zones, and we're going to select the first 2, which is East US 1 and then East US 1B. All right. Okay. And then we'll go to the next one, expand the list of subnets, and in there we'll choose here, so we should be careful. Expand the subnets and choose subnets with a range 10.0.0.1. That's the private subnets. And then 10.3. So we're choosing 2 private subnets, 10.0.3 slash 24. Okay, these are the 2 private subnets. Okay, and then we're just going to choose create. So you can see it here. Actually, I want to see it again. So you can see East B has private subnet 2, East 1 has private subnet 1. You can see this 1A has 1, and then 1B has 3. Okay. You will use this DB database subnets group when creating a database in the next task. Okay, so next task. In this task, you will configure and launch the multi-availability zone Amazon RDS deployment of a MySQL database. Amazon RDS multi-AZ deployments provide enhanced availability or durability for database instances, making them a natural fit for production database workloads. When you provision a multi-availability zone database, Amazon RDS automatically creates a private primary database instance and synchronously replicates the data to a standby instance in a different availability zone. In the left navigation pane, choose databases. And then we have to choose create database. And then if you see switch to new database creation flow, I think this is that was the old what. On the top of the screen, just please choose it. We're already here. So select MySQL. Done. Under templates, choose dev/test. Where is templates? There it is. Choose dev test. Okay. Under availability and durability, choose multi-AZ DB instance, not cluster. Multi-AZ DB instance. All right. Under settings, configure. the DB instance identifier. We'll call it labdb. Again, I am lazy, so I'll just do this. And then the master name, we'll just call it main. And then the master password, we will drag and drop. Okay, so we have to do self-manage. So we can, they didn't say it here, so I'm guessing they expect us to have common sense. So we'll just do lab password drop, and then we'll do it again, drop. Okay, and then what else? Under DB instance class, configure where is it? Where's DB instance class? Did I go too fast? Right, DB instance class, configure bestable classes. Okay, okay, and then make sure it's dbt3 micro. Done. And then under storage, configure general purpose. Well, they didn't say which one exactly, but I'm assuming we can just leave it here because it should have told us whether we're using general purpose 3 or general purpose 2. So we'll just leave it as general purpose 3, and then we'll allocate the storage of 20, not 200. Under connectivity, so we'll just go to the next one. We will choose virtual private cloud lab, VPC. They didn't say anything about these two, so we'll just leave it like that. And then under existing VPC groups, choose, oh, okay. Deselect default and then choose DB security group. Okay. Under monitoring, expand additional configuration settings. Initial database name lab. Uncheck enable automatic backups. And then uncheck enable encryption. This will turn off backups, which is not normally recommended, but will make the database deploy faster for this lab. Okay, that's fine. Then we'll choose create database. I'm guessing we're done. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. Enhance monitoring unchecked. You see, I almost missed this one. Under monitoring, expand additional configurations. Uncheck enhanced monitoring. Initial database name is lab. We unchecked everything else. Didn't uncheck maintenance because they didn't ask us to. And we just create If you receive an error that mentions not authorized to perform, make sure you uncheck. So the one that we almost missed. Whatever. All right. Choose LabDB. So choose the link itself. You will now need to wait approximately 4 minutes for the database to be available. The deployment process is deploying a database in two different availability zones. While you are waiting, you might want to review Amazon RDS FAQs or grab a cup of coffee. I mean, they just said we would take a very long time. So about 4 minutes. Wait until info. Let me actually zoom out because I don't like the way status creating. Where is info? Scroll down to connectivity and security. Then copy the endpoints. Well, we can't copy it now because it's still creating. So grab a cup of coffee, grab some food. Okay, no food because like it's just 4 minutes. I don't know what you're gonna grab. This is mine. And I don't think you want to hear me chew, so I'll just mute myself for 4 minutes. How do we do that? Okay, we're back. So the lab is ready. So the status has changed from you know, to modify it. You can refresh it. Okay. So it goes down to security, you know, and copy this. It will look similar to this. Paste the endpoint to an editor. We'll use it later. Okay. In this task, you will open a web application running on a web server that's been created for you. You will configure it to use the database you just created. To discover the web server IP address, choose. So we're going to choose this. Okay. I don't like how things mess up every time. Okay, copy this. Paste the endpoint. To discover the web IP address, choose this. Drop down from the menu. Copy the IP address value. Where is the IP address value? All right. Open a new tab. So let's do this. So we'll do Control Shift N to open an incognito tab. Put it aside and say what? Open a new web browser tab and paste the web server IP address. So this is the web server IP address. We're gonna paste it and press enter. Continue to site. And we'll see it. Choose the RDS link. You will now configure the application to connect. So to do that, paste the endpoint that we copied earlier, this one, and then the database we would, damn it, lab main, nope, and lab password, and we will submit. A message will appear explaining that the application is running a command to information database. After a few minutes, the application will display an address book. The address book application is using the RDS database to store information. Test the web application by adding, editing, or removing contacts. The data is being persisted to the database and is automatically replicating to the second availability zone. All right, so let's add contact. Let's call this person Robert. Let's do Bob. So Bob Roberts. Phone number. Let's do 0 1 0 1 6 9 7 0 0 3. Email. We're going to do Bob Roberts at someone'saddress.com. Perfect. And we'll submit it, and we can see Bob Roberts is down here. We can edit, and then we'll give his number. Plus 447. I don't know whose number this is, so if you call the person, that's your business. This is supposed to be okay. So we can submit, and then the number changes. Whatever. All right. So this is being um, duplicated automatically to the second availability zone. So we're going to submit now and choose yes. And we're going to close this. And so this is what you created. We created this, and so every time we edit it, it's being automatically duplicated into this as well. You get it? So yeah, we are good. Very, very good. All right, so we choose end lab. This one didn't tell us what we did at the end for some reason. So we'll just lab completed, choose the X. So we see our total score is 20 out of 20. We did everything correctly. Very good. All right, so as usual, when you're done, end the lab, choose yes, go up here, close the X, close this one, and sign out so you don't stress. We are coming in the next time. Next, lab 6.